Thanks for staying with us. Now, as workers of Zoomlion embark on a strike due to salary arrears, other waste management organizations have also neglected their duties to collect heaps of rubbish at the Tamale Station area. Joy News' Selenam Ampo reports.
Heaps of rubbish in the heart of the Accra Tamale Station and bags of filled overflow refuse bins spilling and leaving a heavy repulsive stench in the hot afternoon air. One trader tells us they are left to improvise as Jakora Waste Management Services have neglected their duties as well.
As the people fail to take the boiler, now, as you can see, the whole place is choked. And day in, day out, they keep bringing in, even outside the station crab, they bring the boiler here. So it makes the whole station very dirty, let me put it that way. So we intend to find our own means by dispersing the garbage, but it's not easy. It has not been easy because it's Jakora who is in charge, and he's saying that he's no longer going to work with us. Simply put, let me put it that way, because what they intend to do, they stopped that about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, probably, or a month ago. That they stopped doing. So we intend to do it by our own way.
Indeed, this is clearly sore to the eye, but the paramount concern is the imminent health hazard it poses to workers here. Selinam Ampo's report for Joy News.
Well, meanwhile, Public Relations Officer for the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Gilbert Ni Ankra, has refuted claims the withdrawal of service by Zoomlion drivers is due to unpaid salaries. According to him, the issue has to do with internal wrangling between management of Zoomlion and the drivers. Although he was unable to tell the cost of contracting the private truck drivers to fill in the gap, Mr. Ankra is hopeful the matter will be dealt with soon. He spoke to Joy News' Emmanuel Jivenu.
Drivers of Zoomlion, waste management services, those especially within the Accra zone, they withdrew their services. This morning the assembly woke up to find out that they have withdrawn their services, and for that matter, some heaps of refuse located within some areas in the municipality were left uncollected, and it posed some challenge. And for us, our inquiry clearly suggests that the issue is more of an internal one between them and their management. We have asked their management to look into the issue to find ways and means of dealing with it so that they resume back and then start working. Basically, that is what necessitated.
Is it a case that your office or the Accra Metropolitan Assembly is not paying these drivers for that reason for them withdrawing their services?
That is exactly what I said. When it comes to the issue, this very issue why they withdraw, it's more of an internal one between them and their management. It has nothing to do with the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, not at all.
But this is affecting your work as a Metropolitan Assembly, isn't it?
Of course, it is a worry. And for us, we believe issues of sanitation should be considered as a collective one, and irrespective of the fact that there are some internal wranglings between them and their management. We don't expect them to go on this very angle. Don't forget, the assembly was not notified, and we felt it that, as a responsible institution, we must let the public know the reasons why there are heaps or some refuse spotted in some locations, and assure them that we are working around the clock, putting in some contingency measures to ensure that we deal with it. So immediately what happened was the assembly deployed some trucks to ensure that they deal with the situation before close of day, because if we don't, there will be backlog, and that may also cause some sanitation problems, compound the problem one way or the other. Currently, most of the heaps have been cleared, and we are hopeful that their management will handle the internal wrangling between their drivers, and then tomorrow we wouldn't have the same situation for them to come back and then continue with what they're doing.
So I wanted to find out how much will it cost the taxpayer for a day, for example, in contracting the private?
For that we would have to look at it from the technical angle, and we may have to seek some advice from them. So they will be in the better position to give us, quantify the whole activity in relation to additional trucks and all that. Okay.
Now onto the sad story. An unspecified number of children are feared dead in Takwa in the western region after a school bus collided with a heavy truck. Nanesi Brumoni is standing by with some details. He joins us on the line. Good evening to you, Nanesi.
Good evening, Araba.
So what can you report?
Okay, so what happened was that just this afternoon around from 3 to 4, school children on board bus, that is Learners Academy School at Dumping, heading towards Takwa to allied school children at Ahweties and some parts of Takwa, collided with an oncoming articulated truck, that is which was loaded with sand on the main Takwa-Takwadi road. And there are reports that a lot of children have died, but I can't really give you the figure.
Indeed, because we have been hearing 15 being bandied around, the number 15 being bandied around. So I was coming to that to ask you whether you can confirm whether indeed the number of children who are feared dead in this incident is actually 15.
No, the reports are too many, so no, I can't really say, because some of the children are at Pinto Government Hospital, and then there are also some who are being referred to Effiam Kwanta Government Hospital, and there are also other children at the Takwa Government Hospital.
I see. And do we know in what states these children are? Is it that they are actually dead and being sent to the morgue, or they are receiving treatment for their injuries?
Some are reportedly dead. Some are also receiving treatment from their injuries.
And what about the parents of these children? Have they been alerted to the incident that has befallen their children?
Yes. When the announcement came on air, some parents actually rushed to the hospitals and then the scene of the accident, and you could hear some of them wailing.
Very well. Thank you very much. Nanesi Hammond, corresponding from the Western Region, Takwa. She's bringing us an update on that incident in Takwa, where some children, an unspecified number, are feared dead after the vehicle in which they were in collided with a truck. You're still watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a short breather, but still ahead, another pregnant woman dies in the northern region after several other deaths related to lack of access to health facilities there.
CO2, it has taken one of some guy. Up to now, we couldn't find the person because all the time the river is full, all the time. 3 weeks, we can't go to Market Kura and find something to give our children.
Details after this break. You're welcome back. Now, some residents of West Hills, a residential area here in Accra, are considering relocating from the area following repeated armed robbery attacks there. They claim police have failed to act to help deal with the situation despite several appeals to them. My colleague Kofi Parker Wilson visited the area in the Gassant municipality and has come through with this report.
West Hills residential area is located few meters from the West Hills Mall on the Weja Kaswa Road. It's a fast developing community with mainly middle-class inhabitants. The area seems to have become a haven for criminals, as suspected armed robbers keep coming back to loot without fear. Ajwa, who has been robbed 4 times, recounts her ordeal when the robbers invaded her room.
They used the kitchen door, the back door. Initially, it was just the wooden door. So they broke into it. Then I changed it into a security door, thinking I was tightening the security. But unfortunately, they broke into the security door and had access. My bedroom door was opened. was opened. Then that of the little boy's son too was opened as well. So we entered and we found out that everything was gone. Yeah. The television, my tablets with the small boy's son, then with my clothes, the unsold one, with my jewelry and other stuff, they were all gone.
The situation left her traumatized, compelling her to send her son to a friend's house for days. Adjo has contracted the welder to design burglary-proof in addition to the security doors to protect her against the robbers.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. You come in and like you're a bit shaken, you know. And when you come back from town, opening the door, it's like it's scary because I don't know the next, or I don't know how they're going to come in the next whatever, because I don't think they're going to stop coming here. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping it changes something, like they wouldn't have easy access inside here.
Sister Amma, another resident, narrates to Joy News how she narrowly escaped a robbery attack.
It was around 1 a.m., midnight, and then I just heard a noise from the bedroom. I told him we should get to the bedroom. And so we went there. And when we went, the windows were opened. And so we all saw it and we're like, no, it seems there's somebody around. He stood on one of the chairs and then saw somebody from the wall going through the next house. And so he said, see that guy going at the next house. And then I was like, Ewi Kronfo. And then he said, oh, friend me Kronfo, opa Piebra. Piebra. He was speaking Fanti. And then all of a sudden, he threw a stone to hit one of the windows and broke the louver blades.
She says they no longer feel safe in the area as they can be attacked anytime at their homes. She's appealing to the police service to beef up security. For Joy News, I am Kofi Parker-Wilson.
Now, residents of Akokpokpo in the central Dong district of the Volta region can now store potable water for use following a Joy News report. An earlier report highlighted the lack of potable water in that area. Residents were being forced to drink from a muddy source despite obvious health risks they face. But relief is getting to the community now. Joseph Opokugapo has more.
This is how the water looks like. Unclean, brownish, muddy, as thick as porridge. Sticks and tree branches lie in them with bubbles brewing all over it. A large chunk of what she fetches is actually mud. But guess what? They drink it like that, without any form of treatment. That's the story Joy News told about 2 months ago on the plight of Akokpokpo residents. The district assembly responded by occasionally supplying sachet water to the community so they don't have to rely on the dirty source. The pure water is what we are drinking now. We still don't have flowing water yet. The Tongu Residents Association has provided a poly tank to the community as a short-term measure and is working with the fire service to frequently supply the residents with potable water. The tank is here, that's all. It hasn't been filled with water yet. An NGO, Water for Real Africa, has been in the community to drill a borehole there. But the poor nature of the road made it difficult moving equipment to the community. They are waiting until the dry season to do so. The drilling vehicle can't come because of the road. The spot for a borehole has been identified, though. The residents, however, insist extending pipe-borne water from a nearby community will be a better solution. The pipe-borne water will be good for us. The other troubling issue in this community is electricity. It's always pitch dark at night, and they want to be connected to the national grid.
Electricity,
We were told the electricity is being extended here, but the contractor diverted it to a different community. Reporting for Joy News, Joseph Opokugapo, Mafia Kokokpo.
Now, residents of Potame in the South Tongu district are drinking from a dirty, untreated source of water, which they also share with cattle. They're pleading with government to provide potable water for them. They tell my colleague Maxwell that they are stuck between the dirty water and bags of sachet water for their daily needs.
Here, this is what is happening. Some children wading in this stagnant water here. We also have some washing going on. And just gone by, we had some cattle also drinking from the same source. Now the banks is also littered with cow dung.
I've met a surveyor, Maxwell Lukuto, at his family house in Potame. He was born and bred here. His mother pours out a gallon of some of the untreated water into a big pot behind him. Maxwell says the water situation in the community has persisted for decades.
Yeah, basically that's it. We buy water from these tricycle operators who use the yellow gallons, go to the Volta River, fetch the raw water and come and sell to our people. We have another dam, the Kasangle Dam. ASIP constructed that dam basically for agricultural purposes, and so that has been the source of drinking water for most of the people. But with the advent of pure water, those who can afford buy pure water for drinking, but those who can't still go with the brown water that is available. We are appealing to the MPP government that as a matter of urgency they should look at the water situation of the people of Potame and its environment, because it's really a challenge. I'm not sure they would want to see that suffering from waterborne diseases before they think about how to solve the problem.
I've now met the chairman of the Concerned Youth Association of Potame, Moses Kofi. He says all their protests to get water have so far not yielded any results.
That is why last year, before the voting, we wrote here, no water, no vote. When we heard that former President John Mahama is coming from Aplawu to Accra, we crossed the road here to meet him personally. We stopped him here to show him that we have wrote no water, no vote here. He promised us, after the vote, when they won, they will give us the water. But because they have loose power, that is why we are still in handicap of water. So if MPP people, they can help us to get water, we will praise them. If you build story building, about 7 or 10 story buildings for Potame community, you have done nothing to Potame. But if Potame have water, your name will be praised.
Noble Bright Charlie is a former assembly member and a resident of Potame. He says those who can afford use bags of sachet water for cooking and other household chores, whereas those who cannot afford drink from untreated sources.
We don't have water to use. We don't have water to use at all. So we buy it every now and then, every day, from the Volta River. Tankers bring it, and small cars also bring this jerry can. Jerry can, that yellow can, is what we'll be using to cook, drink, and so forth and so on. Also, because of the drinking process, the pure water has become our district. We buy it almost every week.
I saw many big black water tanks in many homes. The residents are only praying for rainwater to fill the tanks.
Residents of Potame there pleading for potable drinking water. We'll take a break at this junction. Business is up.
Hello again, good evening to you. Welcome to Business. The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, is cautioning government not to be complacent with the current B and stable economy rating by the international rating agency Standard & Poor's. CEO of the association, Seth Chuma Kwabwa, who spoke in an interview with Joy Business, however, lauded government for the rating and advised managers of the economy to do more to put the economy back on a sound footing.
These international rating agencies are well known, and whether you like it or not, people depend on it. People rely on their information to take decisions and in pricing their financial products. So definitely, if you are being your rating is improving, it's positive, and I think we should always be aiming at that because they are quite transparent in the things they do. So once there's transparency and there's improvement, we should welcome it, and we should work harder to make sure that our ratings even improve better. The fact that if you move from one level to a slightly higher level means that you are recovering, but you have not reached there yet. You may have been at maybe a stable, place, but you need to move to another notch where it really helps in reducing interest rates. And don't forget that when ratings are done, it doesn't overnight change the dynamics. It takes a little while for the market to respond to it. It's the consistency in the improvement that is very critical. So the fact that in one rating you've had some improvement does not mean that overnight your cost of credit will come down because there's some slight improvement. What is important, that let's be consistent. Whatever we did to have that improvement, let's work at it to get even more improvement. And if you have that for 3-4 consistent ratings, then you know that you are reaching a stable place, and then you get the reductions coming.
Do you expect any implications for industry? Because I asked you the question about industries because of the long-term capital that you look out for, and sometimes not even with local banks, some straddles into international banks as well. Is this something that you're optimistic that if these things are sustained, then industries could start benefiting from these commentaries and these actions on the country?
Yes, definitely the industry will stand to benefit if it's consistent, because bear in mind that individual industries may not even go out there and borrow from the international market. They may not have the capacity to do so, but our banks do. And when our banks are borrowing from the international market, some of these risk factors are taken into account. So the country's rating is very important. And then also government borrowings from the international market is also highly determined. The interest rate is highly determined by these ratings. So if government is getting credit cheaper, okay, and our financial institutions are also getting credit cheaper, then when it's being passed on to the individual companies or industries, then they also will also get it cheaper. So it's a cycle, and at every level you need to have improvement, and I'm sure that definitely that will impact positively on local financing costs.
Meanwhile, investment analyst Mike Kobler is also optimistic the new credit rating by the Standard & Poor's will open the country up for new investments and funding opportunities for businesses on favorable terms. He was commenting on the new rating. Here's more in this report.
The rating agency Standard & Poor's has given Ghana a B rating following the prudent measures it has taken to manage the economy within the last 12 months. Commenting on this development, investment analyst Mike Kobler believes this will help the country secure more investment opportunities from big international firms.
So realistically, on the market, this doesn't mean anything. The bid doesn't mean anything to anybody. But in terms of outlook, eventually it opens up the economy. People get confidence in the economy that we are doing things right. And then investors get more confidence and be able to throw money at us at a lower cost. That lower cost also goes to reflect on what will be left or retained within the economy to do other developmental projects.
Do you think it reflects the true economic environment of the country, economic environment of the country?
Yes, it does. The optimism in the country is quite high as we speak today. And don't forget, it's all about perception. Okay, so if it is perceived that you are taking the right steps, you are taking the right measures to promote the country, and also to make sure that you're having that sustainable debt levels, people get comfort at you, and then investors begin to look at the country positively.
Mike Kobler, however, cautions that development should be made to reflect on the living standards of citizens.
I mean, if you have the likes of VW, you have Mobil Exxon coming into the country. I mean, these are heavy hitters. Okay, they have their own dedicated research desk that analyzes the country before they throw money into the country. So these are positive signs that shows that at least the investor world believes that we are doing something right. Okay, what we need to work on is how do we ensure that the ordinary man on the street feels the effects of these macro improvements. Okay.
The investment analyst says the declining state of the Ghana cedi against the major trading currencies is a temporary situation emerging as a result of the over-expenditure in previous year's budget.
Now, Deputy Managing Director of Sahel Sahara Bank, Dr. Kojua Boaji Deborah, is optimistic the proposed merger between Omni Bank and Sahel Sahara will enable the new entity to be formed to meet the BOG's new minimum capital requirement before the December deadline. He disclosed this and other issues concerning the proposed merger of Omni and Sahel in an interview with Joy Business's Northern Akwa Hayford in Accra.
Per our timetable that we've given to Bank of Ghana, we hope to complete everything by 15th of October. And then we'll be waiting for Central Bank to give us a go-ahead. That's the final approval from the Central Bank. So we hope that what we have now, in terms of, we have, as we speak now, we have $60 million on our books.
$60 million?
Dollars, yes.
Great.
Now, what is left is just about $24 million, because in all, we need 84 million. That is equivalent to 400 million Ghana cedis. So we have on our hand, or with our hand now, we have the $60 million. What is left is just about $24 million. We have offers as we speak. There are 5, concrete 5 with eggs. We are looking at it, whether we should bring them on board or the shareholder should put in. So we will work within the timetable that come 15th of October, we should be able to furnish the Central Bank with our minimum capital.
Are you able to share with us these new investors? Are they just fresh investors who are looking to get a piece of the new entity's shareholding, or these are people even outside Ghana who also want to be able to have a foothold on the investment, the kind of investment that you have with the 2 entities?
I think there are 3 that are Ghanaians and 2 foreign. One is within the Francophone, it's a bank.
And that's all in business tonight. Many thanks for watching. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. We are free. Have a
Back now, another pregnant woman with her unborn baby has died in Namor, a farming community in the Mamprugu Modiri district in the northern region. This latest death occurred after she lost her consciousness and fell off a motorbike transporting her to a hospital. She later died at the facility with her unborn baby. Joy News' Hashmin Mohammed has been speaking with families of some of the victims.
I am very sad because I have lost my wife and a baby at the same time, even though it is a will of God, but the bad nature of the road and the flood caused it.
That is Yidana Bugiri, the husband of Memuna Mahama, who lost her life and that of her unborn baby in an attempt to access healthcare in Kubori. The ambulance dispatched to convey her to a bigger facility couldn't access their community roads because they had been cut off by flood waters. Roads linking communities to health facilities in many towns in the Mamprugu Mwaduri district have been blocked due to days of massive rainstorm and the spillage of the Bagre Dam in Burkina Faso. The death of this pregnant woman brings to 7 the number of pregnant women in the northern region who have died in trying to access health care. 2 weeks ago at Nangruma, a woman, Doris Hafiz, lost her 21-week pregnancy. The video went viral with many expressing outrage at circumstances surrounding her transportation to an overseas health facility. To verify some of the claims made in the viral video, the news team set off to Nangruma community in the deep forest using motorbikes. The road linking the district capital to the community is inaccessible for vehicles. After an hour ride, the team finally arrived at the Nangruma stream, beyond which we would locate Doris Hafiz. We finally located Doris Hafiz and her husband Hafiz Abdallah. They took us back to the stream and demonstrated how they managed to cross the stream that very day, as depicted in the viral video. Doris Hafiz tells Joy News she was very traumatized that day.
I'm having a pregnancy and I want to born, and there is no any road to even take me to hospital to born because it was raining. All the river is full. There's no any place even to pass and go to hospital and have a labor. Before I can go to there, the road is not fine, so I suffer a lot. Before they carry me with a canoe. Before I went to the hospital, it's too late for me to get my baby.
Her husband, Hafiz Abdallah, wants government to prioritize operationalization of their community clinic and roads to save expectant mothers from such traumatic experiences.
How to cross the river. We have to get people to carry my wife across the river. Even though the river is not even something easy, but going to the next village was very difficult. We suffered a lot and we even fell with the motor. We suffered a lot and my wife was tired. And finally she gave birth and the child was dead.
Emergency health care delivery is non-existent in the Mamprugi Mwaduri district. Residents spend more than 2 hours in rainy season to access health facilities in Sandema in the Upper East region. The residents only want government to fix their roads, health centers, and other basic amenities.
This year, so funny pakra ebru 20. And so a funny pakra ebru 20 road kwani so no. And tin kwani so sanye. And ye di obi so kra ko hospital na walwale. Aha ko walwale kwan wa. And tam na ebaduru hono kra mpa na nipa na ye den wawu. Yantime nyaka den eko moto so no kra na ayu so no wotime kwaduru bebi na moto no so kra e kan so no wontime mfa nipa na ye den eko hospital no enti dia e wa problem ni say omumbo edian na omo ye den omumbo aye ekwan ni nye.
And this year too, it has taken one of some guy. Up to now, we couldn't find the person because all the time the river is full, all the time. 3 weeks, we can't go to Market Kura and find something to give our children. And we don't know, we are not a part of Ghana, or we are pleading the government to know that we are part of Ghana. So the government should do something. The government must to come and see the way we are suffering here.
From Mamprugu Mwaduri district in the northern region, this is Hashmin Mohammed's report for Joy News.
Meanwhile, the District Chief Executive of Mamprugu Mardini, Abu Adams, has promised that in 2 months, a hospital in Nkrumah will be made operational to lessen the burden of residents traveling to other health facilities.
By next 2 months, it will be equipped because the contractor, when they called me, I called the contractor and I told him that I want by next week you should get the equipment or the materials ready so that we give it to the Ministry of Health so that they furnish the place and then they get a nurse to that place and the facility start functioning.
Okay, all right. But will you visit the woman at
I will.
So
he's a citizen of the district. Tomorrow, I'm currently with the Vice President in Tamale. Inshallah, by Monday, when I get back to the district, I will visit the woman. That place is not just like, it's not a big river, it's a stream. Maybe that particular day that it occurred, today if you go there, you can cross. That's the nature of that. So we put it there, if not for this year, but next year. But it is not our hope that it shouldn't be breached. It's our prayer that by next year we do something about it so that we get a lasting solution for it and this problem will not come again. And another major problem is not only about Nkrumah. The whole entire Mamprugu Mwaduri have a problem relating to healthcare delivery. The district itself have no district hospital. We don't have a district hospital. So even if the woman case were beyond the control of the nurse or even his AC and they are referred, they have to go outside the district, either Sandema, Mbisi or Walawale, which is also very serious.
Well, the Member of Parliament for Yagaba Kaburi, Abdul Rauf Tanko, is on the line now. He joins us on the line for more on this. Good evening and many thanks for your time, sir. Have you seen the woman who lost her baby?
Good evening and thank you very much for hooking up to me.
Very well. Have you seen the woman who lost her baby?
I have sent a delegation to pay the woman a visit, but I haven't seen her myself. But I saw the video.
And how did you feel when you watched that particular video?
It is actually a pathetic situation. I actually felt very bad, very, very bad, and traumatized by the event.
And how do you feel generally about this situation that, you know, a health post or facility that was constructed in 2015 is yet to be constructed, and as a result, people are losing their lives, babies are dying, pregnant women are having to cross, you know, rivers just to access health care?
Madam, actually, I am actually disappointed in the way we handle issues as a country. To be very honest with you, I feel that whether MPP or NDC, the taxpayer must benefit from the toil of his sweat. Indeed, these projects that were constructed in certain areas of the constituency were meant to be completed and taking care of emergencies like this. You know, unfortunately, the project was transferred and handed over from one district assembly to the other. That is previous district assembly to district assembly. And I felt that the project would have been completed, you know, once governance is a continuous project. But the project has not been completed till date. This is the painful aspect of it, you know. So, in fact, it is a clear case of discontinuing a project that is started by previous administration.
Very well. Mr. Tanko,
yeah.
We know that it is not the job of an MP to construct roads or hospitals, but the people there tell us that you, as their MP, when you were campaigning, you made promises that you'll be, you know, constructing the roads. The road network is in a poor shape, which is why, obviously, they've had to travel across rivers to access health care. So you make all these promises to them, and yet...
never. If you want, let anybody prove that I stood on a platform and told them that I was going to make sure, you know, I construct all the roads in the constituency. Please, I stand on platforms and tell the people that when I get on as the member of parliament, whatever is due them is given to me, I will bring it back, and I'll do all I can to make sure the area is developed. I said that on the platform. I said that. Yeah, but indeed, you know, there are so many projects that were going on in the constituency, including road projects, and they are discontinued as we are talking about, for one reason or the other.
Okay. Honorable, many thanks for your time. Let's stay on this a while longer. Director General of the Ghana Health Service says he has tasked officials of the service in the northern region to evaluate the state of the clinic in Nanguruma, where the pregnant woman lost a baby as a result of the closure of the clinic there. The facility, which was put up in 2015, has since not been in use. Joint News checks reveal the facility is uncompleted. Director General of the service, Dr. Anthony Nsiasari, says he will push for funds to be made available to complete and equip it. He spoke earlier on the Super Morning Show.
I also found out from the regional director, and I understand the district chief executive there also spoke, that the facility you are talking about is not fully completed. We in Ghana Health Service, when such facilities are built by the district assembly or by government for that matter, then we are then asked, and then we go in and then service the people. We send staff and everybody there. So that's how it is. We are on the tour. My Ghana Health Service Council, we are on the tour. Fortunately, we are on the tour. We came to Upper East yesterday. From here, we'll go to Northern Region. So when I go back to Northern Region, I've asked the regional director who met us at Tamale Airport yesterday that he should give us a comprehensive report and then ask for the necessary financial inputs to complete it.
So that's the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Anthony Nsiasari. He says he will seek funding for the completion of the facility. Earlier we heard the DCE who said he will ensure that the clinic is open in 2 months, and the MP saying that he never promised that he would, you know, complete the construction of roads there. Stay with Joy News. We will be staying on this particular matter until it is resolved. You're welcome back. Now, President Kofi says government will support the new Vice-Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, to discharge the mandate of the university. Speaking at the investiture of Reverend Father Anthony Broni, the president said government is happy that all the necessary legal hurdles were cleared before the investiture. The president added the ceremony should bring to an end the happenings that nearly stalled the progress of the university.
We have the capacity to harness the benefits of good governance and the limitless possibilities of modern technology to generate the rapid growth of our economies and thereby assure the progress and prosperity of our peoples to heights that were undreamt of yesteryear. Let us be up and doing. Our destiny beckons. It is time for the Black Star to sparkle again. Congratulations once again to you, Very Reverend Father Professor Anthony Broni, on your appointment and investiture as the 4th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba. You have my support and the support of government in the pursuit of your progressive transformative agenda for the university. I wish you the very best of luck and God's guidance in all your endeavors.
Well, Law Professor Raymond Atuguba has some concerns about the investiture.
So what's happening is this. The first ruling removing the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, from office was delivered by the Winneba High Court. We challenged that ruling and the Supreme Court quashed it. Of course, they went back to the same court and got another ruling, which we again challenged in the Supreme Court. And the judgment for that ruling comes off next month. This is why I asked in my piece, why the University Council of the University of Education, Winneba, and why the president are so in a hurry to overreach the courts. Why can't they simply wait for next month, get the ruling, and if the person they support wins, they go ahead with the investiture?
Away from that, if you launch right, you certainly have a greater chance of getting it right. In our latest Hotline documentary on right age enrollment, produced by MFA Atiamwa Eli, we tell you the story of 23-year-old Madeline Efia Akwa, who is currently an auditor with KPMG. Madeline started school at the right age and has so far gotten it all right. You can best describe her as living proof of the advantages of right age enrollment. Comparing her with her mates, Madeline's got a head start over them. Here are excerpts of the concluding part of the LaunchPad documentary, which is part of our month-long Enroll Me Now campaign.
Madeline started school at age 4, completed university at age 22, and secured her first job a few months after. Madeline is now 23 and an auditor with the international accounting and auditing firm KPMG. Madeline believes it is her confidence which gave her an upper hand over her colleagues who she competed with for the same position. She attributes this confidence to her days in early grade school.
You know, at that age, you do a lot of group work, you do stage plays, you do Christmas, how do they call it, Christmas festivities. All those things help. You'll be thinking that the child will have to study a poem for several days, recite it, rehearse. It helps in building the child's confidence. It helps in building the child's retentive memory. It helps the child to socialize.
Sharing her experience in early grade school, Madeline says those moments are very critical and should not elude any child, and for that matter, their total education.
For me, back in learning skills, when we were going to do poem recitals, I'll shiver. but for the fear of not excelling, I'll come home and rehearse it over and over again till I can memorize the words. And it helped me through SS, it helped me through university. I'm good with memorizing. I just have to see something and I can take it in. So it helped me. Maybe if I didn't get that platform back in learning skills to be doing poem recitals, who knows, I might not be able to grasp things very, very quickly. So I think there are so many benefits.
Now, trade activities, access to healthcare, and even the education of children are being hampered at Akayonga in the Bongo district of the Upper East region. This is because a bridge linking the area to the district capital and other communities has collapsed, making it difficult for residents to cross over, especially when it rains. Joy News' Upper East correspondent Albert Sori has more.
This bridge is over a river separating the Akayonga communities from the district capital, Bongo, and other neighboring communities. It has collapsed right through the middle, and the concrete slabs are still lying in the river. This means whenever it rains heavily, residents within Akayonga cannot cross over to Bongo to trade in the market or even to seek health care at the Bongo hospital in case of emergency. The most affected are the farmers in this area because it is now harvest season and the broken down bridge makes it difficult for them to sell their produce at the markets in neighboring communities or at the Bongo market.
When it was there, it was easy for farmers to cross from Tankon, Naire and Bemboku to the market to sell their food produce. But since the collapse of this bridge, it's a hindrance to the farmers over there. Besides that, many teachers absent themselves from school days because of this broken bridge. And people's absenteeism too is also very high.
So it has even cut the communities. Now we don't have link to this and that. If it is raining and I'm over there, I have to just be there for the whole time. So my activities there will not be there. So there's no way you can be here when it's raining and you were able to come here. So I am just trying to plead that the government, if there's any way they can do to support the community.
This is not the only community in this area that has been cut off from its neighbors. At the Dua Kantia community, still in the Bongo district, there is no bridge at all, so residents here have to wade through the river to cross to other communities. But this is possible only when it does not rain. Whenever it rains and children are still in school, we come and wait here by the river to see if we can help our children to cross and come home. When the river's current is strong, we tell the children to wait on the other side till we are sure they can safely cross the river. It is even worse when a woman is in labor because we often get here with such women and there is nothing else to do than to stand here and helplessly watch the river.
I can cite an instance whereby one guy, he came this way to buy meat, to take this meat to the market site. And incidentally, he fell into the river and got drowned. Just recently, this year, this rainy season, one lady was coming to the market. She didn't know that the river was listening. It rained upwards. So she was trying to cross the river when the rain, the water came and swept her off. And she died too.
According to a cooperative farmers association in this area, the lack of access problem created by the absence of bridges over these two rivers has had major consequences on agricultural trade, not only in the communities in which the rivers are located, but the surrounding communities as well. Alfred Asebila is the coordinator of the association.
One thing Busak Fund normally wants us to do is to carry out an evidence-based research. And then during the research, we discovered that because of the absence of the bridge, our farmers are not able to maybe move to the Akaonga market, likewise, others are not able to move into the community to trade with them. This particular river is so big that if you look at this infrastructure that they have built, it could not contain the force of the water. And so one of the recommendations during the research is that we need a steel bridge.
This bridge first collapsed in the year 2014 and has continued to break down further ever since. Until it is repaired, socio-economic life among the people here will continue to suffer setbacks, especially in the rainy seasons. From Akayonga in the Bongo district of the Upper East region, Albert Sori, reporting for Joy News.
Now, even before his death, former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan's legacy was portrayed through state institutions on which his name was embossed, such as the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Center, as well as the Kofi Annan ICT Center. But there have been more calls, especially after his funeral, for government to name some key institutions after the respected diplomat. His son, Kojo Annan, says anything Ghanaians deem fit to immortalize his father will be an honor for the family. He spoke to Maxwell Ababa as some family members departed Ghana Sunday night.
Family members of the late Kofi Annan are here at the Kotoka International Airport. In some minutes, they'll be boarding a flight back to Switzerland. It's a KLM flight. We have the wife of the former UN Secretary General. We also have a son, Kojo Annan. We also have Ama Annan. Also here, we had the First Lady of Ghana also coming here to see them off. I've been speaking to the son of Kofi Annan, Kojo Annan, who has been talking about calls to name some key institutions after his father. At the funeral grounds, when I spoke to Ranking Member on Parliament's Foreign Affairs Committee, Samuel Okudzeto Blakwa, he called for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs building to be named after Kofi Annan. There are also numerous calls for the Legon Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy to be named after Kofi Annan.
We hope that his work has already put him in a very special pantheon in terms of the work he's done in the world, but anything that the people wish or feel is suitable for him, it will be an honor and a privilege for him. Anything that promotes what he's done or what he stands for, the family would feel honored and privileged that the Ghanaians think this way about him.
We've been speaking to the chairman of the funeral planning committee, who has been telling us that the wife of the late UN Secretary General earlier in the day was at the Bema Camp Military Cemetery to say goodbye. And chairman of the funeral committee also says that in the coming days they will be briefing the president on the organization of the funeral for the late UN Secretary General.
Well, this is how we wrap up the news. Thank you for staying with us. Hotline is coming up next. We're back again tomorrow. Good night.
This is Joy News Prime.